Hey guys, welcome back to Halftime Roomies. And today we have a cricket episode for you guys. The ongoing India Australia series has been interesting to say the least. After an incredible ODI series that Australia took, an equally exhilarating series that T20 series that India took, India and Australia split the first two tests. And the third test was happening again in Sydney, where Australia won. What India did on the fourth and fifth day was lay down a pure siege, set to chase 407 with a day and a half remaining. It seemed like India would crumble under pressure because the story of the test series so far has been a lack of concentration by the batsmen. Both batting sides have had collapses across two test matches, and it seemed like this might be again a collapse for the Indian cricket team until Pujara, Pant, Ashwin and Vihari lay down siege and really took a hold of the test match. Ashwin and Vihari in particular played out the last 3+ hours of the test match on day 5, denying Australia a famous victory. But the problem that faces India now is a massive selection crisis because 6 players have been injured so far in the test match, in the test series. Bumrah, Ravinder Jadeja, KL Rahul, Hanuman Vihari, Umesh Yadav and Mohammad Shami are all out for the fourth test match. It seems like Washington Sundar might get a call up to his first his test debut for India. The other selection issue that India faces is that they cannot fly in players from India due to the COVID restrictions and the quarantine measures that Australia have in place. So it seems like India really has been dealt a tough card when it comes to selection, and this makes for an incredible series, incredible finish to the series. The 4th test match happens in 2 days at Brisbane at the Gabba on January 14th. And bringing in some of his classic humor, Virupaji Virender Sehwag tweeted out, इतने सब प्लेयर्स इंजर्ड हैं, 11 ना हो रहे हो तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाने को तैयार हूँ, क्वारंटीन देख लेंगे at the BCCI. So some classic Viru jab, providing some comedic effect to a tough test series so far. But no India-Australia test series, or actually series in general, has been without its share of controversy for the last couple of decades, and neither was this test match. Tim Paine, the Australian captain Tim Paine, was under fire for being a pain in the butt to Ashwin on the pitch, launching verbal jabs at Ashwin throughout the test match, throughout Ashwin's batting on the crease. Paine did lose his cool and also was fined 15% of the test of his test earnings for showing dissent towards an umpire's decision. Paine did apologize, which negated the further need for an inquiry by the ICC. I mean, Paine does need to act like a leader. He is the captain of the Australian team, and but it seems everything was fine between Ashwin and him. They did have a laugh about it later on, but it seems like sanskari misogynist and human toilet Sunil Gavaskar was offended by this a lot. He did have a lot to say about this. He did say that Paine needs to focus less on talking and more on catching the ball and leading his team. He also did call for Tim Paine's removal from the from captaincy for Australia. And you know what? That's just surprising because people tend to forget that Sunil Gavaskar himself was stripped of captaincy back in 1979 when India toured England, and Srinivas Venkataraghavan was given the captaincy. Now, the narrative was that he had more experience on English soil, which is why Gavaskar was stripped of the captaincy. But insiders and observers all knew that this was because Gavaskar was considering defecting to the World Series cricket, defecting from the Indian team, defecting from the ICC back in 1979. So it doesn't really suit Gavaskar well to be talking about stripping people of captaincy when he himself was kind of a traitor to the Indian team back in 1979. But moving on from traitors, there was also a racist incident. There were people. I mean, Australia has had its share of racist history in cricket and in sports in general. and jibes were thrown at Mohammad Siraj and Jasprit Bumrah in the third Test match, which led to 6 fans being removed from the stadium after India appealed to the umpires. The Aussies stood with their Indian counterparts. Tim Payne also joined the Indian team huddle, and this was a good action taken by the umpires to remove the fans. But it's been far too often that we see this kind of behavior happen, not just in Australia but also in South Africa, in England, even in India. When to people who followed cricket back in the 2000s would remember when Simons and Harbhajan had that big tussle, and supposedly some fans were showing the monkey sign to Andrew Simons, which, you know what, racism in any shape, way or form is absolutely reprehensible, and it's just something that we hope one day we don't see again in sports. But until then, I mean, we can only hope that the series with the last test remaining goes ahead with no such negative incidents. So yeah, in 2 days' time, India and Australia will take the pitch at the Gabba on January 14th in what promises to be a cracking test match. The last 5 days of cricket in this tour, after which India will fly back home and in 2 weeks' time face England, who will be visiting for a long tour as well. So that again promises to be a really exciting series for India, starting in Feb. And I think with that, I'll be wrapping up this short and sweet episode on cricket. And I'll probably see you guys, I will definitely see you guys at the conclusion of the India-Australia series down under in a week's time. Until then, stay safe, stay home, do like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheerio.